So the first 3 years is like the science that underpins medicine, how the body works, how it stops working sometimes, and how to make it work when it stops, essentially. And then you move to the art of medicine, which is then...
Misconception. You take a moment to think about them.
Medicine, I can't think of them.
I think one, maybe just a general medicine stereotype that I had before coming to uni was that like they work really hard, but they work a lot harder than everyone else, and you never see them. There wasn't a library, and they party hard at night. But like the stereotype is like they have no time to do anything else. And I think that's less true, and definitely less true here. Maybe we're just everyone is working quite hard. But there's also definitely a balance that can be found. There's definitely time for other things.
I think it depends on the kind of student you are as well. Some people, will spend large amounts of time in the library. Some people won't. People work differently and have different sort of. I think generally speaking, I do agree. But there are some students who will just be in the library 24/7. If that's how you work, that's how you work.
But there is like
I wouldn't argue it's the healthiest way to do things, but
But there is like a baseline of very kind of like high functioning here. Like people will be working hard. You won't be able to get away with doing an essay by putting about 2 hours into 2-3 hours into it. You'll have to do reading. You'll have to put hard work in. So whether somebody's like not in a library for like 24 hours, they might be working in their room. Like there's a lot that goes into it. And I feel like the best medical students, the medical students that take care of themselves.
Yeah.
And if that means partying for you, then that means partying for you. If that means like getting to bed early, that means getting to bed early. It's very, very different. You do see extremes of medical students here.
Yeah.
But you're just like, hey, that's what you do, and this is what I do. And I think getting comfortable with that is like a big thing.
That's a big thing. Oxford all round is the imposter syndrome and all that. Like
this
comes up in every video, to be honest.
So I thought it did. So
no, but mention it if you need to, because like whoever's watching this hasn't seen the other ones. I'm guessing. What is imposter syndrome?
What?
Wait, you actually are you being serious? I think we're acting.
Are you serious?
I did a bit of it in psych, but.
Imposter syndrome is when you feel like you don't belong here.
And everyone gets it a little.
So it's because you come to this place, you're used to being at the top of your, smacking your GCSEs, top of your A-levels or towards the top, upper 10%, upper 5%, whatever. And then you come here and you're just average. You're just average. And that it can be quite a shell shock for a lot of people. And it sometimes makes you sort of question, did the tutors make a mistake? Should I really be here? Do I deserve to be here? Am I smart enough to be here? And the answer is, well, you are. I mean, you're here for a reason. The tutors are very well trained and they don't make mistakes like that at interview. And
the interview process is really good. It's quite long, but it picks out people who can cut it.
There's a reason that the interviews are sort of very much behind closed doors. And the reason they're so daunting in the first place is because it's a very real process. And so they pick students that they have thoroughly sort of looked at and vetted and thought that, okay, these are the people we want to study here. So if you get in here, it's not a fluke. It's not just like an accident. You're here for a reason, so you do belong here. And it can be hard to believe that sometimes, but I think generally in terms of Oxford, you do have this sort of thing where you see people working really hard and you're like, oh my god, I should be working that hard. Or you see people partying and you're like, oh my god, I'm stressing, and you just don't know where you should be.
How does that person party and work?
How are they managing? Some people, it's weird because a lot of students here spend half their time convincing you that their course is harder than yours.
They do.
And the other half convincing you that they're doing it like with just complete minimal effort.
That is so true.
And it's just like
very wrong.
Neither is true. It doesn't really matter. It's very easy to compare yourself to other people here, and it does not do anyone any favors. So just sort of find your own pace.
Everything's relative, to be honest.
And I think that's the most important thing.
And I feel like people think that students here that get in, or students that kind of keep going throughout the course, they know everything before they're being taught or things like that. At interview particularly, you think that, the more I know about this, the more likely I'm to get the answer right, and therefore I'm going to have a higher chance of getting in. It's not about that at all. There'll be people that know everything. There'll be people that know the first year syllabus. And obviously it helps because you've got a broader kind of scientific outlook that's always really good, really read around the subject. But if you're like, don't panic about not knowing everything, because that's the whole point of learning, and that's what they want to pick out. They want to pick out somebody that's malleable and somebody that can think, as opposed to somebody that knows everything and can regurgitate the textbook.
Yeah. Someone who knows everything doesn't make a good student. Someone who has
and that's what
who wants to learn makes a good student. And also I think, particularly medicine, that the whole you can't know everything, that's a big thing as well. At A-levels you're used to, and at GCSE, you're used to having a syllabus which you can complete. Realistically, you could go into your A-levels saying, okay, I know everything there is to know in the syllabus, and I can answer any question that comes up. Even, to a decent degree, I can do that. You can't do that with medicine, at degree level or beyond. You can't know everything, it's just not possible. There is a vast amount of information. So while now I know 10 times as much stuff, just raw content as I knew last year, in terms of like proportionally, I know less than I knew last year, because I am now aware of how much more there is to know. You can't complete it. None of that completed it, mate. business. So you have to be okay with that as well, because that can be quite hard for a lot of people who come here, like, you know, expecting to be able to tick things off and be like, okay, I know everything, I'm ready for this exam. You're never going to feel ready.
Just gotta be confident.
Yeah, just be confident and confident in what you do know and go for it.
And it's definitely possible.
No, yeah.
No, it's definitely not. Yeah, it's just not feasible at all.
I feel like we went like away from the. I can't remember the original.
Misconceptions. Yeah.
It was misconceptions, but like this is aside from the video, but I feel like these videos will be very long, which means that it gives me more work, but for the people who are watching it, I think they would benefit from this a lot, so it's fine. Go off track, but obviously it's useful, so it's fine.
I do quite a lot of like access stuff with college, and I think lots of us do, and I get asked this quite a lot. And I think the important thing to realise is there's not like a magical one thing that if you volunteer at this place you're going to get an offer. A lot of it is what you learn from it, the skills you learn from it, and how you talk about it in an interview. If someone asks you, like, when did you volunteer, how did that impact you? How's it going to help you be a better doctor? It's how you've reflected on your volunteering and the skills you think you've gained from it that I think is really important.
How you've developed, yeah.
So I'd sorry, go.
No, I was just going to say, maybe do something that's not very medical. I mean, have something like extracurricular that's very you, that you really enjoy doing. If that's like sorting out events, that's you. If that's just playing sports, that's you. Something very personal to you that you can put in, because they want to see you've got downtime. In terms of kind of like medicine related, I'd say do something long term. So it shows commitment, so it shows that
Organisational skills.
Organisation, so it shows that you've actually developed, because you can't develop after doing like a 2-week placement. Like you learn stuff, but you won't actually put it into place and like change the person. Whereas something long term really does show that, and that doesn't have to be like your typical charity shop. If that means like you've been doing long term, I don't know, volunteering at a youth group or something, or community work with your local community centre. It doesn't have to be your archetype. I helped out with cancer research for like 2 years. It can be very different.
It can be that then.
Yeah, I've tried that. So.
Oh, okay.
Just something that you can say you show development, and if you can show like progression in that, like if you're part of even like a society, you went from just being like a member of the society and then you went on to committee, like it just shows something really good. It shows that you're like invested in the thing that you're doing.
Yeah, I was going to say something similar about time management. So it doesn't matter necessarily if you're doing if you're volunteering, for example, in a care home, like you said, or I was in a charity shop. So it's about the reflections that you make on that time. So you know, I spent X many months, or you know, up to a year or longer. You know, so I would put X many hours aside every weekend or whatever. So you can show that you have the time management and organisational skills, which are beneficial. That's interesting.
Or if that's too broad, then maybe before you started the year that you're in, but for you that kind of is like starting the course. Yeah.
I think before the course, I knew preclinical was very academic. I didn't know to what extent it was. I didn't realise I'd be writing 3 essays a week. I didn't realise I'd have labs. I didn't realise I'd have mock exams after each term. We call them collections here.
Yeah, that's an Oxford thing.
Yeah, it's an Oxford thing. I didn't realise that my exams would be one after the other, and I'd be learning content 2 weeks before my exam.
Can relate though.
Exactly.
One might even say learning the course.
Exactly.
One might say, we don't know who. A friend.
I wish I'd have known that, so then coming into it wouldn't have been so much of a shock to me. I knew like unis have like loads of societies, you can get involved, and you can go to Freshers' Fair and everything's like this fairyland, it's great. But like knowing that you have like a college system, so if you just want to like branch out to people that you kind of already know, and like the college kind of activities, they're not so serious, they're not so daunting, so it's like a nice kind of like step up, and then you can go to like more uni-wide societies. I wish I'd have known that.
Yeah, no, I think for me as well, I didn't know, for me the Islamic Society has played a huge part in my time at Oxford so far, and I envisage it will continue to do so. But yeah, that was one worry for me, moving away from home and out of the community, and particularly the community at the mosque, and I'm very much a part of that at home, and I thought it would be difficult to sort of move from there to here. I didn't know anything about the Islamic Society or many other societies here when I came here, so I didn't actually go to any of the freshers events that the Islamic Society put on. So yeah, it would have been nice to know a little bit more about those sorts of things and what societies run, and you know, how to get involved before I came.
I guess if we're mentioning Islamic Society, also there's lots of different backgrounds, different cultures. Also like Sri Lankan Society is quite a big one. ACS is huge. PACSOC is huge.
That's African Caribbean.
African Caribbean. There's
something for everything.
There's a society for everything, literally. Like there are people who play Quidditch in the park.
I was literally going to say, that comes up in all the videos as well.
I respect that. And if you manage to find something that you want to do and there's not a society for it, congratulations to the president of Union Society.
Yeah, exactly.
You can make it,
yeah,
literally.
Definitely. If it's like the Netflix Society, oh my god, that'd be such a good society.
Oh my god,
make
guys.
one!
No.
Idea caught on camera. Eureka.
I'm sure somebody's thought of it. We
I'm
should just
legit being
patent
serious.
it.
There's a Netflix site in college where you watch like a film on Netflix like every week. I'm sure college would pay for the subscription.
I mean,
That's such a shout.
That's such a good idea.
But there you go. You're glowing right now. Just,
Am I?
yeah.
Wow.
No, I'm legit being so serious. I think like when you have like college videos every week, you get to vote on like a poll, as in what like film or what like series you want to see.
So if anybody
Yeah.
Or Game of Thrones 2006. That's something. That's a good
That is a
idea.
shout. No, that's a shout.
Do
try it, let us know how that goes.
Um,
Anybody who's aspiring JCR presidents, take that idea.
And the only other thing I might say is watching lots of videos like this and like reading up about it is great. I did a lot of it before coming, and you'll read about all sorts of things that happen, and Oxford's really different. But I think it's also worth realizing that you'll never really, like, until you get here and go through it, you don't really know what's going to go on.
Yeah, come
And-
visit.
And no one does either.
open days, generally speaking, they're in the last week of June or the first week of July as well. There are 2. So, yeah, come,
But-
check it out.
And half the fun of the first year of uni is just going through it without really knowing what's going on. Everyone goes through it together, and you'll get to the end of it.
Yeah.
It's really nice.
Yeah.
Come to Oxford and just even if you have a walk around, if you don't go into any college, just have a walk around and get a feel of the place. It'll
Definitely.
give you so much like motivation.
Vibes.
You'll just feel so special, and it'll drive you through like your year 13 when you've got your exams, and like it'll drive you through like writing your personal statement before you're writing it. It'll drive you through like I don't know, your end of year 11 when you're trying to get some work experience. It's so good, even if you can't like physically come. Watch video, because obviously it's like might be a long wait for some people.
Just keep rewatching this
Watch
video.
yeah, well, yeah. I only came to Oxford once before my interview, and that was on a school trip. Yeah. So just like watch videos on, and I chose LMH because I just googled all the names of the colleges and I picked the prettiest one.
Some people do that.
No, it's true because you're gonna have
That's
to
why
live.
Worcester's oversubscribed.
Yeah.
No, I'm not joking. That's exactly why.
Really?
Yeah,
It's
so
the
like,
pond, yeah, it's
yeah.
the most applied to because of the pond.
I feel like, do people ever fall in that though? That's a hazard,
London
to be
was
honest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
There's a
very,
lake,
it's
and
apparently,
And
Yeah,
an
I've
apple
seen that,
orchard.
yeah.
it's apparently the
Yeah.
most gorgeous one.
Worcester is beautiful.
I'm sure
I was at Magdalen yesterday and they had the deers.
This is true.
Yeah,
So-
Magdalen is gorgeous too.
Basically, there's loads of
Actually,
colleges.
Outside of term, when there are not too many students, I've seen deers at LMH, which is,
Have you?
yeah.
Fair.
Did you take one?
Ah.
Did I what?
Take one.
Yeah, take a deer or take a picture of a deer?
No, take the deer.
No, I didn't take the deer.
But if anything came out of our little rambling just then is that there are many colleges out there and everybody usually ends up at the one that is best suited to them. So we're going to be biased towards our one, but also like wherever you end up is fine and I'm sure you're going to really enjoy it there.
Yeah, and don't be too like stressed on picking a college.
Yeah.
I was so stressed about picking a college. I was like, I don't know what to do. I don't know which ones are really competitive. I don't know what. And then
Yeah.
I just ended up picking based on what looked nice because you're going to live there for 3 years. You're going to be working there for 3 years. That's
Yeah.
going to be like your home, your community. So just pick whatever you like. Interviews, you get 2 sets of interviews. So you'll be at the college that you picked, and you'll get be
Or
put up.
one, you can stay either.
Yeah, by like a random college, and so you can either get accepted into.
If you've applied an open application, so not specific to college, then you're
Yeah.
randomly pulled to
And
two.
also me behind the camera, the thing you said about competition, like which colleges are more oversubscribed and stuff, it's also not that deep because like they can always move you and pull you to a different
Yeah,
college.
it's a centralized
That
system
happened
for
to me.
that reason. So if you are applying to an oversubscribed college and they don't have enough places to give you, but they want to give you a place, then the university can give you an open offer, which is essentially saying we will give you an offer, you get the grades, we'll sort it, and
But they
they'll.
just need time.
And yeah, in terms of finding about colleges, I think online is great. I think I use the student room, but initially.
And
But,
there's the unofficial prospectus, which is quite good.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think once you come check out the place, it's completely different. Because when I was sort of going through the colleges on the student room, I think I sort of whittled it down to like 4,
Okay.
of which LMH didn't actually feature. But when I came to the open day and I checked out LMH, immediately I was like, okay, this is where I want to come, and I applied because I just loved everything about it.
So many people pick college when they come to open days and they'll look around a couple and one of them will be like, that's the one.
There we go, and they're all valid.
It's like your wedding dress, just know when you see it. It's like,
Many people.
Say yes to the college.
I haven't yet found
Talk
my
too
way
much
to
at love in the corner.
I know, they're all valid, it's fine.
Keyboard is one of my 4 actually.
Hey,
Respect.
even though it
We're
didn't
very
make it
close
in
to
the
the med school, is what I'm going to say.
Okay.
I'm
Yeah,
up
no,
at 9
literally.
for my 9 a.m. lectures. It's
Where
free.
is the med school actually?
Opposite
keyboard.
keyboard.
Oh, literally.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
cool.
Oxford Road, yeah.
Yeah.
Also very close to the Borough for that.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
I saw.
It all works out. So I guess the last question is there anything else that you want to share or say that we haven't already talked about? Besides apply?
Pick a sparrows
Yeah.
apply. Do apply.
Yeah, it's nothing to lose, everything to gain. Like, why not?
Your
I'd
words
say-
are so on fire, I love it.
so poetic.
Yeah.
I'd say Oxford is something you really can't describe. Like, there's no city, no country, no place in the world that can actually match the vibe that you have here. So once you get in, it'll be hard, it'll be grueling, you might feel a bit crappy, like whilst you're applying and stressed about interviews, stressed about personal statements. But once you're here, literally the world is your oyster, and you're in like the prettiest place, like I'd say, in the world. It's so gorgeous.
Strong
Strong
statements, literally.
It's so pretty. No, okay,
It is
fine.
gorgeous. No,
Right,
it is.
edit that out.
No, it stays. It's cool. Some people would agree.
It's sunny today,
Everything
okay?
has to have like
That.
a recording of someone going edit this
It's
out.
because it's the prettiest place, like I'd say, in the world. When it's sunny, Oxford is like
Yes.
up there.
No, it's
Yeah.
gorgeous.
In the summer.
It's so pretty. You have like a wealth of opportunity. You can get into any sport you want to. Even within your subject, you can do anything that you want to. Any idea you have or any kind of field you want to go into, you have every opportunity here within your subject, outside of your subject. And then once you get through and you get the degree, whatever degree that you do, literally the world's your oyster because you have Oxford in your CV.
And I'm assuming if you're watching this video, you want to do medicine at Oxford, but if you do decide to do that somewhere else, then that's also fine. And
We forgive you.
yeah, we forgive you. They
But
forgive
it
you.
is stressful.
It's stressful, but you'll get through it.
But to be fair, if you're planning to do medicine, it's one of those courses that's not like it's crazy stressful here and not stressful anywhere else. It's medicine. It is more stressful here and it is more difficult here, but it's also Oxford is the best in the world for medicine for the last 8 years. So.
Oh really?
Uh,
There's a baseline
Hello.
difficulty. You get to flex, bro.
but
No,
also,
on the first
like,
day, you get a lecture where it says
They bring up the little graph.
they bring up the graph.
Oh,
and you're just,
really?
oh my god! Like,
No, I mean
know.
it's the price you pay to study at the best place for medicine. But medicine is one of those subjects that is like it is to some level standardized across the UK in the sense that it is going to be difficult and stressful wherever you do it.
Yeah.
And the life of a doctor is going to be incredibly difficult and stressful, and that's what you're signing up for. So
But you'll
if
see
you're
that.
expecting to not be stressed, then
Yeah.
don't.
it's
expect
more
that.
stressful.
But
Yeah,
me,
it is definitely.
with my glass half full, will say that wherever you go, it will be very fulfilling.
Yeah, no,
And
the
very
glass
fun.
is half full. No, it's,
It always
yeah.
half full. Yeah.
It's great, but like the thing is, even during the like bad times, you'll develop such a good like support network around you that you'll just become so at one with the people around you because they just support you through so much.
Cool. I'm feeling very reassured. Might do medicine. Probably won't, but you know, you
Might
guys
just do graduate medicine. Love it.
will think about that. Oh my god. But yeah, thank you for joining us, you
Thank
guys.
you for having us.
Thank you.
And thank you for watching this video. I guess share it with anybody else who is applying to do medicine at Oxford or medicine in general.
Don't forget to like and subscribe.
Like and
Oh.
subscribe.
Click the bell to get notifications.
I never say that, but actually do that.
do that.
Yeah, should we do it?
Just do that.
Like and subscribe.
I don't know where it is, but one of you guys are
And
pointing in the
bell,
right place.
I don't know, that's not what the bell is. It's probably like.
I'm not sure. Wait, let's
maybe
zoom
like-
out
I don't know.
so we find it. Yeah.
Yeah.
One of those. Thank you so much, and see you next time.
What was I gonna say? That's really good.
I'm so
It was really
sorry.
good. Oh yeah.
That was good, that fixed it.